Hallelujah. I want us to, we're going to speak about the secret of contentment. Somebody say, secret of contentment. Yeah. The Apostle Paul learned through his life that there's a secret into contentment. When I first got saved, I remember that the first thing that hit me was that I was fully aware that everything was going to be okay. Now I was shot 2 years before, so I was for a year I was in hospital. For a year I was just in living my life, doing whatever I could to try and find a meaning. But then the Lord saved me and did a miracle in my heart. And the first thing I felt was that everything was going to be okay. Now, I'm sure not everybody feels exactly like that, but for me, it was very clear. This was the Lord. He's come into my heart, and He's going to take care of everything. I don't have to worry about anything. And I don't worry. I'm not given to much stress and to worry about this or that. Or I'm not that guy. And I'm grateful for that. People of my wife is not like that, and bless her, you know. But I'm aware that the Lord is in control of everything. It's not my decisions, it's not my plans. Everything is in the hands of the Lord. And I've been a Christian for nearly 50 years. And I've known that all my life. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. It's like being at home, man. Wow. So, if you have a Bible with you, I'd like you to open it to the book of Philippians, chapter 4. And we're going to read just 4 verses. And Philippians chapter 4 from verse 11. Oh, we're there. That's not the one. Philippians chapter 4. There you go. Good girl. Paul writes, and he says, not that I speak in regard to need, for I have learnt in whatever state I am to be content. What a guy. I mean, that he would speak like that. He says, I have learnt in whatever state I am in to be content. It's a wonderful place to be. To be content. It doesn't mean that you don't have issues, you don't have problems, you don't have dramas, you know, but that there's something in your heart that it says, you know, to know Jesus is everything for me, and I'm sure for you. But Paul says, I've learned in whatever state I am in to be content. And we know that the Apostle Paul was in very difficult situations, very challenging situations, very hard things would come his way. But he always felt that he is in the plan of the Lord. This is the plan of the Lord for him. And once he found that and he accepted that, embraced that, he was content. When he writes this letter to the Philippians, he's writing from a jail cell. And it wasn't a comfortable jail cell by any means. Nero was the governor, and he was in charge, and he was ruthless against Christians. And Paul says, I'm content. I've learned to be content. You know, that piece of the word of I've learned, I've not. It's one thing to be content while you're fishing. It's one thing to be content in some place, but it's some place where you are. It doesn't matter what is happening around you. You know that the Lord is in control. The Lord's got this one. Paul says, I know how to be abased. I know how to be abound. Everything and in all things I've learnt both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's wonderful. It is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. When there's you've got a contented heart. It's not you're not struggling for this or for that, or you're coveting about that, and you wish you had that, and you need that. Although we have all those needs, all of us somewhere, but there's a place, I think, where the Lord wants us to, where the Apostle Paul came to, where he says, I've learned to be content in whatever state I am in. I've learned that. It wasn't a scholastic learning. It was a learning from experience. You know, when the Lord met Paul on the road to Damascus, and he said to Ananias, he said, I will show him how much he will suffer for the gospel, for me. And there was a tremendous suffering in the heart of Paul. And but we're going to get there. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. Dorothy, over here. One Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. Now godliness with contentment is great gain. Because we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can take nothing out of it. If we have clothing and food, with these we shall be content. But those who want to be rich fall into temptation and into a snare, and into many foolish, harmful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all kind of evil. for which some have strayed from the faith in greediness and have pierced themselves through with many sorrows. You know, it's sorrow, such a sorrowful thing, because for money is something that we need, so something the Lord gives us, something we acquire, whatever. But when there's a love of money, a love of wealth, a love for you want everything. Everyone a huge boat or ship or I don't know what. And it's designed to take away the place where you have been with the Lord before. And it's, you know, today it's crazy how there's such a desire for so many things. It's always been in the heart of man. The heart of man is wanting this and wanting that. It's in all of us. It's something that we birthed with. But I've come to understand that it does not matter, because it does not bring any true fulfillment, happiness, joy, peace. Or on the contrary, it will be the opposite. You think that this, if I had this or that, my life would be better. It would not. It would be more complicated. For people to be rich and to be content is a very rare found. I have met many wealthy people and poor people. It doesn't matter, because it's not about whether you've got money or whether you haven't. It's whether you are fulfilled or content with what you have. You know, and I think that if we don't measure that or get that clear in our heads and our minds, like the Apostle Paul says, those who desire to be rich fall into temptation and to a snare, and to many foolish and harmful desires and lusts, which drown men into perdition. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. You know, so I've come to a point in my life, and I've shared this before, and I don't know how long ago, maybe it was 20 or 30 years ago, I'm not sure. Maybe it was 40 years ago, I'm not sure. But I don't have a desire for things. If I've got a car, wonderful. If it works, even better. You know, if it's got an air conditioner, amen. What a blessing. You know, hallelujah. You know, if I've got a roof in my head, and I have. And I've got a wonderful wife that cooks for me, and I've got wonderful people in my life, and I mean, I am truly contented. I am content in the situation that I am in. I'm disabled, as you know. I have been disabled for 50 years, nearly, and I've come to the point where it doesn't bother me. It used to bother me. It used to be a huge problem for me. It used to be because there was a big faith message, and I thought, well, if I had faith, then I'd get healed, and then Catherine and I would travel the world and tell people about Jesus and how that I was shot, but then the Lord healed me, and what a powerful testimony. But it wouldn't be a powerful testimony. But where I am now is a powerful testimony. I believe that. I believe that. And the reason I believe that clearly and deep in my heart, and I believe that God is a healer. And I believe that God can heal anybody at any time from anything. I mean, I've prayed for people, and they've done, and I've seen great miracles in their hearts and their lives and bodies, marriages, finances, whatever. We've seen miracles, and we continue to see miracles. But this what I'm sharing today it is personal, deeply personal, and it's what it is for me, because I don't. I guess I must be careful, because I don't have a desire for the things of this world. I don't have a strong urge. If I've got a meal, and if I've got a bed that's comfortable, and if there's no drama, but huge drama, I'm okay. Hey? Okay. And maybe there's something wrong with me, and I'm open for that. If anybody wants to challenge that, but I'm telling you what's in my heart. And I'm just saying this is not a new thing. It's something that I don't desire things. I mean, if I see a pair of jeans and hey, those will be nice. Okay, if I can buy them, hey man, that's great, wonderful. But it means nothing to me. It really means nothing to me. And there's a verse in the scriptures, we've read it, where Paul says that he has learned in whatever state to be content. I'm very grateful that I haven't got the same struggles of Paul, but I've got my own struggles, and every person here has got their own stuff, and we have to deal with it the best way we can. That's how it is, I've got no jealousy for people that have got incredible cars and boats, and I've got no. Bottom of my heart, I look at it the other way. Somebody's got to clean that thing. Somebody's got to ensure that. It's. I'm just so simple, I guess. I'm so simple in my belief, and so I'm so simple in my faith, and I believe that God will take care of everything for me. I don't believe that I'll ever suffer lack, complete. And if I do, God will give me grace. So turn to 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 7. Are you with me here? Do you understand what I'm saying? Hey? I'm not doing a downer here on you. Hey? If you want things, fine. Crack on, Hey, and to each one, But I'm just saying that the Apostle Paul said, if you love money and what you can get, it'll be a problem for you. That's what he said. When he loved the church, Paul, his life was for the church. His life was for the people of God. His life was for everything else. And he knew that his life was on earth, it was just a spent force. There was a time that the Lord said, if you want to come home, you can come home. And he was torn. He was torn. The Bible says that he was, in the King James Bible, it says he was strapped betwixt two. Whatever that means. But it just means that he was torn. He had desired to depart and be with the Lord, but he would remain, it was more necessary for the church. Even that, it would cost him dearly in his body and his flesh, and his more stripes, more imprisonments, more beatings. But it was for him. To carry that kind of revelation, to understand that is another person. That is another person. So 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7, it says, we know that chapter 11, chapter 12, verse 7, and lest I should be exalted. 2 Corinthians, and lest I should be exalted above measure by the abundance of the revelations. Paul had revelation from the Lord, straight from him. A thorn in the flesh was given to me, a messenger of Satan from the devil to buffet me, lest I be exalted above measure. Can you imagine that the Lord would love him so much, and that he would understand that because of a human being, and the revelation that he was receiving from heaven, from the Lord, it was going to cause him to be puffed up, proud. And so the Lord, in his grace and his mercy and his wisdom, he gives him a thorn in his flesh, something that will never leave him, something that will buffet him every single day, every moment, every waking moment of every day. It was there for him. It would never leave him. Concerning this thing, this thorn, I pleaded with the Lord 3 times that it might depart from me. Of course he did. I've pleaded with the Lord. I said, Lord, please, Lord, do something, So got many challenges. Remove one at least, But it hasn't happened. And I've come to a point, I'm 52 this year, 62. 72. Huh? See, time flies when you have fun. 72 this year. And he's pleading with the Lord that this thing will be removed from him. And he's really believing that God was going to remove it. But God himself put it there. Hey? I don't know how that goes with your theology, but I'm telling you, it's there. And the Lord speaks to him on the third time and says, my grace is sufficient for you, Paul, for my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure. You've got to think this guy's a bit crazy. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmity, in reproach, in needs, in persecutions, in distress, for Christ's sake. Because when I am weak, then I am strong. Have you ever been in a place where you're feeling, maybe you're just a bit far, this, that, and then the Lord speaks through you to somebody. And as you speak, you're aware that these words are not yours. They have not come from you. And the more you speak, the more you're hearing things that you haven't thought about, you haven't planned. And that is a grace of the Lord. Because you know that whoever you're speaking to, you're unlocking something in that person. And Paul, whenever he write the Bible, and that wasn't his plan to write the Bible. He spent so much time in jail that he had time to write, and he wanted to write, and he had things to write. And you read when you read Romans, Corinthians, 1 Corinthians. I mean, Paul wrote, but I don't think he was aware that he was writing the scriptures. But today we read the Bible every day in churches. And we are blessed by the gospel. And we are blessed by his life. And we are blessed by his suffering. And we are blessed by the price that he would pay to carry this treasure, because it was a treasure that he had. And he had received the treasure from the Lord. So, Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. This has always been a great encouragement to me. Hebrews 13, verse 5. Be content with such things as you have, because he himself has said, I will never leave you, I will never forsake you. Wow. You know, how many of you ever felt, I've been forsaken by the Lord, you know? No, the Lord doesn't love me anymore. No, I'm such a case. But you see, we read the Bible and we read these verses because Jesus said, I will never leave you, I will never forsake you. That's enough. That's enough for me. That's it. Huh? I could have sinned. I could have done all kinds of weird things. I don't know. But and I'm broken by that. And I come and I read this and I say, He said, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you, Basil. You are mine. So that's all I wanted to share this morning with you. I thought Clint was going to go for a little while, but no problem. But that's all I want to share, and I don't want to share anything else because what for? You know. But this is the secret of contentment. To be content is a rare gift. And I think that because I've been around for so long, for 72 years, I've seen things and I've seen people, and I've really watched what money can do to people, and I think that's why I've even as an unbeliever, I was not drawn for money. So whether as a Christian, I was so liberal because I didn't want to be, and I didn't understand anything from the Bible. But I understood but the Lord it's come from me. It's come from the Lord. It belongs to Him. My life belongs to Him. Hallelujah. We've got wonderful things ahead of us. We've got wonderful people in the church, and more people are coming into the church because of the gospel, the purity, the simplicity of it. And even in its simplicity and its purity, you don't want to mix it with the complications. Theology, I know, and all different kind of thing. I do know that. People speak to me about this and that. Yeah, but the thing is with theology, it can bring you to a place where you worship the theology, but you don't worship the Lord anymore. It's so subtle. It's so subtle. And I'm so glad that little journey has gone for me. Huh? I'm grateful for what I know, but it doesn't mean much to me. Because the simplicity of the gospel is everything. Come, let's stand. Yeah.